Hello. Thanks for joining us again on the channel. Okay, yes, we've reviewed a lot of these. Too many, probably. But trust me, this one stands out. It caught me off guard. In a good way. Before we get started, there's a special discount if you're interested. The link is in the description and also in the top comment. Now let's not waste any more time and jump right into the details.
Let's begin by examining the insights provided by our first reviewer.
This reviewer admits to being a bit skeptical at first, as this monitor comes from a company that isn't one of the major household names. However, any doubts were quickly put to rest upon its arrival. Right out of the box, the unit feels surprisingly sturdy and well built. Our reviewer found that assembly was a breeze and was pleased to see that it included both HDMI and DisplayPort cables, which is always a nice touch. A particularly appreciated detail was the control scheme. Instead of the often fiddly single joystick found on many modern displays, this monitor uses a classic row of buttons. This made navigating the clear and easy-to-read on-screen menu a simple and straightforward process. When it comes to software, there's no proprietary driver or special color profile to install. It simply runs as a generic display, which this client found to be no problem at all. The real customization happens through the graphics card's own control panel. Our reviewer noted that tweaking the settings this way was highly responsive, and it only took a few minutes of adjustments to get games and videos looking absolutely perfect. In terms of performance, this monitor truly delivers. The HDR implementation is described as beautiful, making for a vibrant and immersive visual experience. For gamers, the high refresh rate capabilities provide incredibly smooth motion, and the adaptive sync technology works seamlessly to eliminate screen tearing. In the end, the overall sentiment is one of being genuinely impressed. This client found it to be a fantastic piece of hardware that packs in all the essential features for a great high-resolution gaming experience, far exceeding initial expectations.
Now, let's hear directly from our first reviewer about their experience.
This reviewer found this gaming monitor to be an exceptional value, noting how impressively accessible high-quality displays have become. While the overall experience was overwhelmingly positive, our reviewer did point out a few things for potential new owners to consider. First, coming from a different panel technology, some users might find the contrast a bit lacking. The black levels may not seem as deep or inky as they are on other types of screens, which is a common trade-off for this kind of display. However, this client felt the monitor more than compensated for this with its excellent performance in motion, highlighting a complete absence of ghosting, which is a major advantage for fast-paced gaming. Another critical piece of advice shared was regarding the HDR setting, which is enabled by default. Our reviewer strongly recommends turning this feature off immediately, both in the operating system and within the monitor's own menu. The implementation was described as more of a marketing feature than a true high dynamic range experience, and disabling it results in a more accurate picture. To get the best image quality, this client suggests a few specific adjustments. Pushing both the brightness and contrast to their maximum settings and turning the sharpness down completely seemed to provide the best result. For the response time setting, choosing the fast option is ideal, as the fastest mode can introduce visual artifacts. Despite an accidental drop right after unboxing, the unit suffered no damage, leading our reviewer to feel confident in its durability and long-term reliability.
Fantastic. Now, let's see what insights our next reviewer has to offer.
This reviewer replaced a large flat-screen television that they'd been using as a desktop display with this monitor. Initially, they were a little hesitant, not being familiar with the manufacturer, but the attractive price point and positive reviews convinced them to take a chance. The monitor arrived promptly and was securely packaged. Upon initial setup, connecting it through the HDMI port on their computer produced a pretty good picture. However, curious about exploring other options, our reviewer decided to experiment with the DisplayPort connection, something they hadn't tried before. The difference was truly remarkable. Using the DisplayPort resulted in a significantly enhanced visual experience. The picture seemed to leap off the screen, exhibiting a sharpness and clarity that was immediately noticeable. The colors were so vibrant and rich that it took a bit of time for this client to adjust to the newfound intensity. Ultimately, our reviewer believes this is the best monitor they have ever owned and considers it a worthwhile investment. The improved picture quality from the DisplayPort connection was the real game changer, transforming their overall computing experience.
That's it for this one. If you found this helpful, tap that like button and subscribe for more. Got thoughts? Questions? Let's talk in the comments. Thanks for watching. See you in the next one.